Make sure my audio is off. Hello, those of you that joined. Welcome. Okay, so I need... What's the comment say? I need to refresh the thing already. Hello, Bacon. How are you? Hope you're doing well. Hope you're ready for this next upcoming season. Let me get myself some water real quick. I'm gonna need it. Oh, boy. Right, I've got an adequate amount of water so that I don't keel up. Well, I'm not even going to really need it because I'm just doing this to take notes on the diff 2 so that I actually know what to expect. But, you know. So let's see, basically I need to get together the list of diff 2 drivers. Let me go ahead and make a new note that I can... Ready up at 05, so in 2 minutes. Hopefully we get ready to go soon. So, details of the racing point. Vibing, hopefully I can come ruin the fun. Well, I mean, this isn't even, I mean, Williams. Who's just commented? Nobody up. Thank you for the stream. Absolutely, sir. This is the rare opportunity where I do actually get to stream, you know, live. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to, unfortunately, because my internet at home is, well, my name is Hotspot for a reason. So, yeah. Good old iPhone hotspot. Certainly will. But whilst I'm here at college, I'm able to actually stream things. And hopefully we're going to be getting ready to go here very shortly. Then finally... Right, guys, so welcome to this little Div 2 exhibition that we have going on. I am Hotspot, your regular Div 2 commentator, and basically the reason for this stream tonight is I just kind of wanted to see what we have up against, what we have coming up for this season. Kind of just wanted to get a feel for where we are, take some notes on some of these drivers. So it's going to be a really super-duper casual stream, so sit back, relax, enjoy. Hopefully I won't have to... do too much screaming at the microphone, unlike previous streams that we've had. Here we are at the Red Bull Ring in Austria. All standard league rules apply, so easy enough. I mean, hopefully we get a really good season here. I'm really anticipating that we are going to have a good one. I know for a fact that a lot of these people I've seen already in the various divisions. Gap to leader. Some of these guys are kind of floating in between Div 2 and Div 3 because, you know, oftentimes we'll call up people from Div 3 to race in Div 2, so I kind of wanted to take notes on them as well. But for the people that are in the race, I will be taking notes on them. It looks like the first out of the garage is going to be Valentine. Valentine, who we saw race a couple times in Div 2 this previous season. I believe making his debut in Silverstone. And it looks like Valentine is going to be first out on track, although it doesn't appear that I can actually spectate him just yet. Oh, that's not Valentine, it's Hay, though it looked as if it was coming out of Valentine's garage, so that was a little confusing, but, really confused there for a second why I couldn't actually see Valentine on the list, but, yeah, that actually wasn't him. Hello, Sweet, how you doing? Good to see you, good to see you. Oh, and Hayes already invalidated his time coming around turn, whatever that is, turn 10. That's unfortunate as well, because that is a mistake I often make for sure, and one that surely we're going to see a lot more of. So next out on track is Matt Rosie in the Williams. Matt Rosie, who we've seen a couple times already. He was in Abu Dhabi for the final race of the season in Div 2, did really well, then apparently had a power outage that prevented him from doing the rest of the race, which is actually really unfortunate because he was on a great little streak there, and I believe his power outage has happened right around the first safety car that we had, so that was really unfortunate because from what I remember, this kid has bags of pace, and I'm really excited, and he's one of our first drivers out on a timed lap. The yellow flag in Sector 3. Oh, goodness me. Well, we've just witnessed Matt Rosie go off on the wall, haven't we? And I can tell you exactly what that was. I think he hit the curb behind him on exits of Turn 4, and he's hit the curb and he spun around, possibly hit the grass, so that is unfortunate. Sweet, that's good that you're doing good. I'm doing okay. Oh, and looks like who's Rosie letting past here? That is Hightower, who's on an outlap. Who's going to be coming to the line? That is the McLaren of Domingo is going to be coming around. That's also, I believe this is Ben's Rice on a timed lap. It is, so it looks like Ben's Rice is going to be our first timed lap. But to get to your point, I am doing good. I think this is my second to last week of college for this semester, so doing pretty good. Finally going to be free of that. Looks like AP7 was actually our first time lap, as we also saw Ben's Rice have a Track limits violation. Monkey Mafia, about 2 seconds behind him. He's fitted the mediums, though, so that's not all that surprising. Actually, a decent amount of drivers choosing to take the mediums here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out of the 18 in the field choosing to fit the mediums. Who's next around the line here? That looks like Tiok coming to the line, who I believe is out on a timed lap now, so let's go on with him if we can. Oh, he's invalidated. Wow, lots of people invalidating their laps, that's for sure. Who's coming to the line now? That looks like Domingos, who has also invalidated his lap. Benz Rice? Oh, wow. Alright, we caught that at a good time, haven't we? Benz Rice has absolutely binned it, coming around turn 10. And that was a little bit unprecedented there, hasn't it been? We have, this is Chief Braids, doing well to get through the wreckage of whatever that was, and he's actually done second, so pretty solid lap there from Chief Braids, I will say. And who's this coming to the line now? I believe that is Monkey Mafia entering the pits. You see Tiok, I believe he's going to be starting a timed lap next time round. Behind him is Impossible Bacon in that BWT Racing Point machine. Bacon is often one of those drivers that we see usually fitting the mediums during qualifying. And where's this going to put him? Wow, goes second. Solid lap, and he puts about 0.5 of a second back to third. Very, very solid lap from Impossible Bacon. Next across the line looks like it's going to be Hay, who's starting a timed lap. Will Ans goes fastest lap. Will Ans, we know he has bags of pace. Fought with Hash 9211 for the lead for a significant amount of time at Abu Dhabi last week. And unfortunately it ended in flames for him as he kind of made too much contact with Hash 9211, went around. About 12 minutes left in this qualifying session. What do we have coming through Sector 3 now? That looks like a Renault. That's going to be Nero. Oh, no, it's going to be Benz Rice, isn't it? Yeah. If we can get to the thing. There we go. Benz Rice is pitting. Wow, that worked for nothing. Round comes Detail. Nope, actually Impossible Bacon, who I think is going to be pitting here. Certainly what it looks to be. He's dropped down to 4th. Detail coming around through Sector 2, going into 3 very shortly. Detail on the lap old soft compound. Making his way downtown. Is Hay behind him? It is. Nope, wrong Haas. Valentine behind him, who has also invalidated his lap. And, no, well, he's still going to try. Yeah, well, that's for this and next lap now. Lots of drivers being caught out by that exit at turn 10, the curbing in turn 10. Very easy to be caught out as well. I don't blame any of these drivers for getting into trouble there. Looks like this is going to be Tiok. Around through 6 and 7 now. I believe that's a Ferrari to line. There's Adaltonian, though I believe his last lap has been deleted. To ride along with him for this lap. Up this little straight he goes. Technically this is turn 2, I suppose. Up into the corner. Let's see how he takes this one. May have actually taken that one a little bit too wide, but he does set a purple sector 1, so not a bad start. I think he probably could have taken a little bit more curb through 3, but he didn't. Get a Alpha Tauri coming to the line now. That is Murph, who has invalidated his lap. Adaltonian still on his way through, a purple sector 2 as well. Let's see if he can finish this lap off on a good note and stay clear of track. Oh. Oh, no. Oh, I've actually... Live footage of commentators curse right there, unfortunately, and that's exactly what's happened. Oh, don't pull out in front of Miru. He's on a timed lap as well. Goodness me. Oh, what was that? That was a Williams that's gone off. That's Matt Rosie. He was going off in the gravel trap on outside of 7, I believe. Which isn't an uncommon place to go off as well, because if you don't get a good line going into 7 and then out of it, you could actually be stuck in a very awkward position. So that's... I mean, it's surprising, but it's definitely possible, that's for sure. What else we have coming out right now? This is Murph, who is coming to the line. Yet to make a timed lap. This is going to be his first timed lap of the session. See how he handles the Red Bull ring. We got a Red Bull that's off in the corner. I believe that's Knuckles, who's looks like he's gone off. Up into 3 he goes. Again, taking turn 3 a little bit wide is the trend that I've noticed. Maybe spinning the tires a little bit, going out of 3. Handles 4 and 5 brilliantly, I must say. It was very, very hard to get turn 4 correctly. Purple sector 2 for him, and rightfully so. He's done that absolutely brilliantly. Ooh, maybe got a little squiggle coming out of turn 7. Here he is into 9 and 10. Could have taken a little bit more of the curbing there, maybe cut off a little bit more of 9, but... See where this puts him. Puts him 6, so Murph is definitely capable of making a better lap here. That was a solid lap. However, there was a couple places that he definitely could have... Oh, what is this? That is Knuckles, who has gone off again, and he is well on the inside of the grass. Hasn't lost any of his front wing, which is probably good. Oh, and as I say that, he has certainly lost part of his front wing now. Wow, and we kind of just saw... Oh, I would recommend moving off the racing line if I was you. Here's Will Ann's on his way. Will Ann's currently 3rd on an outlap on a fresh set of soft tires. Currently Teok holding on to provisional pole, with Ben's Rice not that far behind him, about... Ooh, jeez. Ben's Rice nearly lost it through 9. Ben's Rice not that far behind. Will Ann's in 3rd on an outlap, currently about 6/10 behind. So pretty decently close amongst this top 4 right now. All within 0.7 of a second of each other, and then as it goes back to Monkey Mafia, it's about 1.2 seconds back. So I tell you what, this top 4 is pretty evenly contested at the moment. That's good to see. And Will Ann's, I guess we're going to go along with him for his time lap. He's coming at Sector 3 with bags of pace, I'll say that much. Here he is, starting his timed lap on his fresh set of soft tires. Let's see what he can do. Takes up all of the curving through turn 1. Nicely done there. Carried a lot of speed out of it as well. That's what you like to see. Purple Sector 1, but a huge lockup going into 3. That's going to hurt his time a little bit. As he goes into 4 and 5. Another big lockup going down into 4, though he's handled it not terribly. Well, Ann's not on a bad lap, I'll say that myself. Gonna be honest, doing pretty well. Matt Rosie's just cracked up into 2nd. Purple Sector 2 for Will Ann's. This could be a lap that goes provisional pole right here. It's certainly looking good. Ooh, maybe caught a little bit of a slide out of 9. Across the curbing, does well there. This one is going to be close, and Will Ann's is going to go provisional pole by 27/100ths of a second. Oh, I said that right? 0.027 is the gap between first and second. That is a solid margin right there. I tell you what, and I was just saying this top 5 now, very closely contested, and you gotta love it. Where is Will Ann's going? Oh, because his teammate is coming through that same sector. Okay, who do we have coming to the line now? That looks like the Mercedes of Hightower. Now, he's on 2-lap old soft tires. Do you think he's going to try another timed lap here? I mean, I wouldn't, but... Yeah, he's not even had the DRS, I don't think. excited to watch. Dude, I tell you what, this is going to be a really solid race. Oh, who's this that we have off? That's Chief Braids, who's letting the car go by. What do we have coming to the line now? That looks like the McLaren of Domingos, who is going to be starting his timed lap now. Domingos a little bit further behind, back in 12th at the moment, about 2 seconds off the pace. Though we know Domingos, he typically tends to make these late qualifying pushes towards the end of the session as we close in. Less than 4 minutes to go now. See if you can do the same. I believe this is coming to the line. AP7 starting a timed lap. This is still Hightower, and yeah, it looks like he's going to be pitting this lap. Behind him, I believe, is the Renault of Benz Rice as he comes around at turn 10. Let's see where this puts him. And Benz Rice is going to go provisional pole by 0.2 of a second. Wow, that was a very solid lap from Benz Rice. Purple in all sectors. And I tell you what, this gap's been pretty close so far. That has really separated Benz Rice and Will Ann's. 0.2 is a lot to make up on the circuit. However, I will say, Will Ann's had some very correctable mistakes that he did make, such as lockups going into 3 and 4, things that he can definitely improve upon if he chooses to make another go at it. To the line now, this is the Ferrari of AP7 on a time lap. Round turn to Ferrari, Alfa Romeo. To the line he goes, AP7, not going to improve upon his time. This is getting interesting. It very much is. I tell you what, if usually in these Div 2 qualifying sessions last year, we had about the top 3 within half a second, within a reasonable amount of time. We've got the top 6 within 1 second, so this is going to be very, very closely contested and a very good preview of what we have in store for this upcoming Div 2 season. Absolutely mental how close it is, and to the line comes Knuckles, who appears to be starting a timed lap now. Behind him comes the AlphaTauri of, I believe that is Murph. It is. D2 is fire. Well, I tell you what, most of the people you're going to see up in Div 1 this season, they all came out of Div 2, and I tell you what, that was largely true for the majority of the Div 1 season. Div 2 season, we had drivers such as Scabney go up, we had Legit to Win It go up, we had Cake Thomas, who absolutely flew through this division. Div 2 is really the proving ground for a lot of these drivers, and a lot of these drivers, get their opportunity based on what they do in Div 2. And this is quite possible. This is probably one of the more exciting divisions to watch, I will say. I mean, I don't watch much Div 1, obviously, because it goes on at the same time. But I tell you what, this is looking to be another great season as Murph nearly loses it on the inside of 7. But, as I was talking about, this is not a long season. This is, 11 races that we have coming up. This is going to be very, very exciting. Closely contested throughout the whole thing, and you really can't make any mistakes if you want to hope at the Drivers' Championship. Coming to the line now, that looks like the Mercedes of Hightower. Less than a minute to go in this session. Benz Rice has retired without making a final go. We have Will Ann's in second, who is on an outlap as he currently finds his way going through 4. Mercedes of USGT, who has invalidated his time, so 3 drivers still have yet to set a time in this session. One of them being Niru Nix, who is going to be able to start his timed lap here. He better not invalidate again, because he surely does not want to be starting towards this rear end of the grid. Ooh, and he's nearly lost it going through 1, but he's corrected it very well. Coming to the line this time is going to be Knuckles, who is going to try to set a good time here. May have been caught up behind a couple drivers. Let's see where this puts him. Knuckles is going to go 12th, so not the best lap he could have had. Looks like Hightower has invalidated his time. As we scroll through the order, here comes Hay, making his way through 9 and 10. Looking like he's got a solid lap already. Let's see where this puts him. And 5th is where he's going to stay, so not a terrible lap at all. Matt Rosie right behind him. Let's see where this puts him, and Matt Rosie's going to go 2nd. Very solid lap from Matt Rosie. Less than a 10th of a second gap. off provisional pole. Will Ans has got ZGS right in front of him, and that is really going to mess up his time, not to mention he's already invalidated his time as well, so that is certainly not what he wanted. As I think he was on a really good lap there, as he's been, every time he's been out on track, he's been throwing down absolutely brilliant laps. There goes Knuckles on his way past, he's already set his time. So Chief Braids in the Williams, as I say that, has spun it in turn 10, an exit of turn 10. Oh, goodness me, he's nearly collected whoever this is going across the line. I believe that is ZGS. And once he crosses the line here, oh, yeah, that's not gone well, has it? And so I think that's going to be the end of the session. So Uncle Ben's Rice taking pole position in this Div 2 exhibition race here, followed by Matt Rosie in the Williams, Will Ans in the AlphaTauri, Tiak 91 in the Ferrari, Haytight Gaming, who's in the Haas, Monkey Mafia in the Alpha, AP7 in the, I believe that's Ferrari, I can't really tell the colors on my screen, nope. What? I couldn't tell, I'll read it again in a second. So if we've learned anything, this is going to be a very, very tight race, possibly rest of the season as well. So Ben's Rice on pole, Matt Rosie second, Will Ans third, Tiak 91 fourth, Haytight in fifth, sixth is Monkey Mafia, seventh is AP7, eighth is Murph, ninth is Chief Braids, 10th is Adel Tony, and 11th Hightower, 12th Knuckles, 13th Valentine, 14th Domingos, 15th Bacon, 16th Detail, 17th USGT, 18th is Nero Nix, and then rounding out the field in 19th is ZGS. So we've actually got a decently full grid. It wasn't looking like we were going to have that much going into it about half an hour ago, but we've managed to scrape together 19 cars, spanning both Divs 1, Div 2, and 3, and then a few reserves were able to make their way in as well. So I tell you what, we're in for a good one here, that's for sure. So, ZGS top 5 calling it now. I forget, did he qualify on the mediums? I think he was on the mediums. One of the Red Bulls was on the medium compound. So if he, assuming that he gets the choice, I mean, maybe starting on the mediums is going to be a good strategy here. It could be. Seaberry needs to see more from that Monkey Mafia character. And Levi Impossible Bacon has told me that it is going to be wet at the end of the session. So we are going to have our, I guess, suspected Austria rain race. So Seaberry needs to see more from that Monkey Mafia character. Well, I tell you what, 6th place is a decent position. And, you know, this is just kind of feeling out this Div 2 for the beginning of the season. So I tell you what, I'd take 6th if I was in this spot. Sweet is cheering for Ben's Rice, and it's going to be so close. Well, I tell you what, starting 19th, he can start on whatever he wants. Yeah, that is true. I tell you what, if I mean, normally me personally would be the one to start kind of on the off compound, on the slower one, then transition to the softs at the end of the race. That might not work here, as it is going to be a wet race towards the end of the session. So, you never know. Damage on, yeah, should be. I don't see why it wouldn't be. Normal league rules apply, so regular league settings, yep, that is true. Session starting in 2 seconds, so someone's hit the button way early. And so, yeah, so I mean, as we called it, this is going to be so close. Now, if you remember the last time that Div 2 was at Austria, I forgot what week it is, it was kind of early days in the season. The last time we were at this circuit, it was one of those races where it was a wet race at the beginning, ended on the soft compounds. Well, that's Will Ans. That's going a bit wide, to say the least. But yeah, so it kind of ended on the soft compounds, and then we were in. It was kind of one of those situations where there was a safety car, and then we had, I think, 2 laps after it. So if we have anything like that, that is going to be very, very exciting. So turn on lap data. That's there. Telemetry I like to keep off, although it doesn't much matter. So I guess I'm going to be looking, I think for the D2 season, Matt Rosie and Uncle Ben is going to be going at it for 1 and 2. I tell you what, both of these drivers have shown incredible pace. I think Uncle Ben's Rice actually claimed a win earlier in this last season. So I tell you what, it's very possible. Matt Rosie showed his pace at Abu Dhabi before his power going out, and unfortunately that came crashing and burning. But I'm going to be looking at Tiok here. He's starting about 4th. Tiok has been known for getting some of these good, really good starts. So I am going to be looking at him. We got Monkey in 6th. AP7 starting a little bit further back in 7th, but still in a good attacking position. This is going to be a very exciting race. Some of these drivers choosing different strategies. Most of them choosing to go onto the medium compounds, a couple going onto the softs, and it looks like... oh yeah, that's right, it does that when you get closer to line. That makes sense. Gotta say, why are 2 cars ghosting and running into each other? Apparently that's just how it goes. Detail, we'll keep it on position change. Shouldn't be that bad. ZGS coming on. So ZGS has started on the hards. It's actually, can we see who's fitted what tires? So we had 5 takers for the medium compound, and then ZGS at the back starting on the hards. Is ZGS plan just to wait it out until the rain comes? That could actually be brilliant, if I'm honest. That might be a very, very solid strategy. You never know. You never know. And here we go. About ready to start here at the Red Bull Ring. 5 lights here. Lights out, and away we go. And it looks like Ben's Rice has probably the best start out of that. Tiok did not have a good start. He's got Hate Tight and Monkey Mafia to the inside. It's going to be 3-4 abreast, nearly going through 1. Tiok getting shoved way wide of the circuit. He's got AP7 right behind him, and then to his right, he's also got Monkey Mafia and AP7 making his way. Wow. Action-packed start there already, but I'm happy to announce that there's not been a safety car going through 1, so very, very good there. Monkey Mafia is making up the start. Will Ann's made it all the way up into 1st. That actually looks like a very close battle for the lead. Behind him, Uncle Ben's Rice and Matt Rosie side by side. 2 of the people that Swee said he thought were going to be battling for 1st place already kind of doing so. Looks like Murph has fallen back a couple spots. Very action-packed first lap already. It looks like this battle here. AP7, Tiok, Adaltonian, and then Monkey Mafia. This kind of train of cars here still very tightly contested. One mistake will find you losing position. That is the Ferrari of Tiok, Adaltonian. That's gone a little bit wide, going through 9. And who do we have? Well, the order's all messed up now. Detail has gone into the pits. Now, this is an interesting choice. I'm not really sure. Does he have wing damage? I can't rightly tell. Oh, yeah. The order is completely messed up now, that's for sure. Okay, well, anyways. Ben's Rice still under pressure from Matt Rosie. About half a second gap there. Though this turn 4 is genuinely going to be one of those corners that you will see some mistakes and definitely some passes. So this 3-car battle here. Murph has dropped off just a little bit. Who has screamed outside my dorm? Adaltonian just kind of waiting for his moment to pounce on Murph. Very closely contested and clean racing so far. Domingos and Knuckles possibly got into each other there. Can't tell. Knuckles has gone really wide, nearly getting into the back of Domingos. DRS enabled this lap. So a very clean start to this race, I'll say that much. Very, very good to see. As we scroll through the order, AP7 and Monkey Mafia, the teammates going into turn 3. This is going to be a close one. Not to mention you got Tiok right behind him as well. Who's got Murph behind him and Adaltonian and the rest of the grid. So it looks like Tiok is definitely the sitting duck in this situation, as Murph did get past him with the DRS that time by. Monkey Mafia still hot on the heels of AP7. Not to mention this battle for the lead now within half a second. And Will was pulling out somewhat of a large gap as well. I wonder what mistake Will made to kind of lower this gap, but here they are. Battle for the lead going through 9 and 10. Let's see who's going to do the best they can here. Hopefully, nobody exceeding track limits. We got a yellow flag somewhere. That is the Haas of Haytite, who has gone off in between 9 and 10. Doing a very good job of keeping it off the circuit. Gotta like it when that happens, that's for sure. Thank you for not rejoining the track, and it looks like this battle for the lead still going on here as they go up into 3. It looks like Ben's Rice is going to try the left side. That could work. Will Ance is a very good defensive driver, though, side-by-side out of 3, and it looks like Will Ance is going to get the best of him for now. However, Matt Rosie also wants in on this fight for the lead. You are potentially watching the top 3 in a Drivers' Championship battle, 1, 2, and 3, through Sector 2 now. Way too early to draw conclusions, of course. However, these 3 have jumped out to a significant margin, almost 4 seconds now on AP7. So, wow. Closely contested already, that's for sure. And speaking of closely contested, possible pass for the lead shortly? Out of 10 they go. Matt Rose is going to have the DRS as well. If he stays within the slipstream, he might make the overtake. And Ben's Rice playing it very conservatively at the moment. Surely he could have gone along the right-hand side. Chose to back off for now. Well done there. Monkey Mafia's got Murph and Teok right behind him. Looks like Monkey did not get the exit out of turn 1 that he necessarily wanted. Maybe Murph was there in the beginning after the DRS section. Side-by-side for 5th here, and it looks like Murph is going to get the best of it for now. Still side-by-side as they go through the DRS section. Both drivers having the DRS this time by. Teok not that far behind either. Still a very close battle for the lead as well, but let's check back in. We've still got Monkey Mafia under pressure from Murph. Gee, remember when I said that this was going to be kind of a laid-back, casual broadcast? Well, I was certainly wrong about that, as Hightower picking up a penalty somewhere 3 seconds for multiple warnings. This is still side-by-side. Teok looking to get the better of him for now. Oh, wow, this is very closely contested there. Teok nearly forcing Monkey Mafia off the circuit. And Murph has dropped back into that 7th spot. Very closely contested battle here. There goes Murph along the left-hand side, getting in the grass as well, holding enough pace. So what a brilliant overtake that was to go into the grass and still make the overtake. Shades of Dale Sr. there, I must say. Down the DRS section they go. We're going to check back in on that in a second. However, Uncle Ben's Rice still wanting to get the lead from Will Ance. I must say, Ben's Rice is doing a very good job of keeping it very clean at the moment. He's had a couple riskier opportunities to take the spot, but he hasn't yet, so very, very well done from him to keep that clean and keep it nice and closely contested, I guess. As we move back a little bit further, it looks like this 3 cars have been battling it out consistently here. I gotta love that. AP7 is just kind of, well, he's just kind of hanging there in 4th. Not has much to do. Murph has picked up 3 seconds for multiple warning. And yes, it does feel like the season already. I was about to say that. This is already very closely contested racing. I do hope they can also keep it this clean as well. I'd really like it if that happens. Ben's Rice maybe looking for the overtake on the right side. Oh, who do we have there? That is the Williams of Chief Braids that has gone off around turn 1. And they'd like to telemetry on, so I will put that on for you. Usually I keep that off, because I don't usually like having it on. It gets in the way a little bit, but give the people what they want. Battle for the lead here, still Ben's Rice. Trying to I guess he's just trying to wear down Will Ance at this point. He's not trying overly hard to get around him, not trying overly desperate to get around him either. Maybe holding it off until the pit window. That could happen as well. Ooh, and it looks like Uncle Ben's Rice maybe got a little bit far out there. Matt Rosie did pick up 3 seconds. Ben's Rice doesn't want the right side this time. No, not yet. Thank you for that, Seabury. Appreciate it. Meanwhile, Murphinsell still kind of wants his position on Monkey Mafia. There's Teok behind him. This has been some great racing amongst these 3. Very clean as well, and Tiok pulling off the double overtake going into 3, and he's going to make it stick as well, possibly Monkey getting into his rear end there. Almost 3 abreast for the spot now. Wow. Very closely contested there. Monkey Mafia did get into the back of Tiok, and Monkey Mafia losing, I believe it was 2 spots there. Yeah, that certainly appears to be the case. What else do we have going on throughout the field? We got this battle here, 15th and 16th. Looks like, did maybe ZGS get... Oh yeah, it looks like ZGS has wing damage. I'm going to assume he got into the back of USGT there in turn 4. As we saw USGT a little bit off the pace going through 4, so that's not entirely out of the picture there. And it looks like Matt Rosie has gone past Benz Rice. Did Benz Rice just have a poor go through turn 1? And that probably looks like what's happened there as he's starting to fall back just a little bit. We have a yellow flag off in... Oh, ZGS is... ZGS has just retired in front of it. Whoa, what has happened to ZGS? Has he just binned it coming around the corner? Is that actually what's happened here? Who else is... Who's behind him? We got Niru coming through now. Oh, yeah, look at that. ZGS has... Wow, so I'm assuming he's hit the curbing on the outside of 10. Or maybe the grass, and actually just lost it around the corner. That we have seen, that we saw in the qualifying session, so that is not entirely out of the question. But up to this point, Will Ans has the lead. Matt Rosie made the pass for second not too long ago on Benz Rice. And how many drivers are going to be see going into the pits now? And it looks like the majority of the field, that is going to be the case. Who is going to stay out is my question. When does this rain start? I know he said the end of the race. We still have a little bit of time for that. And it looks like we are going to be seeing the majority of the field come through. A full safety car for this. And yeah, I can't blame him. He's actually where he spun around. He's in the middle of the circuit, so I'm actually kind of glad they threw that safety car out. So I guess Impossible Bacon, due to starting on the medium tires, inherits the lead. And I tell you what, surely it was me that said Impossible Bacon likes to start on the mediums, and that's exactly what's happened. So Will is on the fresh mediums, so he's gonna... I mean, I'm not sure. Bacon's got a penalty. I'm not sure how long these mediums can last. I'm assuming around 15 laps. I doubt by that time. I don't think the rain's going to be coming in then. So we're under safety car here on lap 10. A very exciting and closely contested race at the moment. Hopefully it stays that way. Usually after the safety cars it tends to stay like that. So that's what I'm hoping for. So let's actually look and see who has lost the positions here. Tiok's lost 2, Benz Rice has lost 2, Matt Rosie's lost 2. Oh, this is after pit stops as well. The biggest loser is definitely going to be Chief Braids and Hey Tight, who both lost 8 spots. So, unfortunate for those two, but they still have the variable of the rain coming in later in the race, so you never know. We have seen crazier things happen, that part is for sure. So chat, how you liking Div 2 so far? It's been a very, very exciting race already. Very closely contested. Battling for the lead since the get-go. Battling in this midfield 3 of AP7, Tiok, Murph, and then Monkey Mafia was in there as well. Hopefully this is a good representation of what is to come this season in Div 2. I really hope so, because these guys put out a great season last season, and I'm really hoping for more of the same. And race control says safety car in this lap. So I'm going to be along with Ben's Rice here on this safety car restart because I think Bacon really is just the sitting duck at the moment. He's got the oldest tires out of anyone in the field at the moment on the 10-lap old mediums. But I mean, assume if he jumps out to somewhat of a lead, he can probably put some space behind people, or at least he'll be hoping that the midfield gets spread out a little bit in order to maybe delay the inevitable of him having to pit. Though I'm not sure how that strategy is going to work, especially with the rain coming later in the race. He's not going to have a lot of time to recover, that is for sure. As the field's going to be coming around this time by, out of turn 10 they go. Ooh, and Bacon's holding up the field as much as he can. And Bacon is going to get a good start, I'll say that much, and it looks like Chief Braids has gotten into detail, picked up 5 seconds. That is Domingo's falling back. Teok going around the side of Murphinselli, and Will Ans has taken the lead, though as we see here, Teok trying to get around Valentine. Valentine fitted the softs, he's up to 7th, though it looks like he's being overtaken quite easily here at the moment. He's keeping the 7th spot. Side by side here between Bacon and Teok. Bacon losing a lot of positions on that start on the 11-lap old medium tires. But he is, at the moment, maintained 5th position, so I tell you what, couldn't have gone too bad. Will Ans yet again finds himself in the lead. There goes Teok and Bacon, actually, the driver we were following around with there. This is Hightower's point of view. He's got Valentine in front of him. Let's see what he can do. As we go a little bit further back, Nero and Knuckles side by side as they go into 9. Oh, it's going to be a close one here. Not a lot of room there in turn 9. Side by side still, Nero's going to go plenty wide. Not picking up any track limits violations there. Thought I saw a car go off for a second. Haytide has picked up 3 seconds for multiple warnings. Someone has ridiculously dropped off the pace. I believe that's Murphinselli, who's dropped off a little bit. That's Monkey Mafia as well. Monkey Mafia is has lost quite a bit of positions here. Rough start for him. Here's Hightower. Does he want to make a move on Impossible Bacon? Probably not yet. He knows he's going to be able to get around him on the softs, and wow, he's actually going to choose to go around him here. Going through 6 and 7. So Impossible Bacon losing, 8 spots since the start of the safety car. I knew he was going to be a sitting duck as well, because he's on the oldest tires, but still. Hey, what a familiar sight this has been already. Will Ans, Uncle Ben's Rice, and Matt Rosie paddling for the lead. DRS enabled this lap. I gotta hand it to Ben's Rice and how patient he's been at the moment. He's done a really good job of making sure not to make contact with anybody. That's really nice to see. He's going to have the overtake this time by going into 3. No, he's going to file in behind him again. Oh, and it looks like Will Ans actually got a little bit too wide that time. How Ben's Rice hasn't made this overtake just yet, and I think he's going to do it this time by, and the answer is possibly. Side by side still as they go through 4. Will Ans had quite the lock up there. And Will Ans keeping the lead still. Wow, great defensive driving from him. Looks like Nero has overtaken Murphinselli back there for 10th. Teok kind of in the mix of things yet again, finding himself 5th. Trying to close in on AP7. That battle for the lead still within the 0.4 of a second, and with a DRS, might be even closer. And it looks like if you are... Well, I'm not really sure why that showed me having them go to softs, but it's interesting. It looks like, can Ben's Rice get the position this time? No, he's actually going to try to defend from Matt Rosie here. Matt Rosie going on the hard compounds. That is an interesting choice. Not sure why you would have fitted the hard compound, but he's probably got his reasoning. Looks like Matt Rosie is going to get around Ben's Rice. Side by side with these two going through 4. It looks like Valentine's going to get shoved out of that attack there. Teok doing a great job of holding the position. Valentine actually got into the dirt a little bit there on the inside of the corner. And he's going to hold on to 6th for the time being. A little bit further back, Murph and Silly still trying to find his way around Niru, Nix, and Bacon. And let's see, who's got the most penalties at the moment? Valentine and Hightower both sitting at 6. Chief Brain's got 5. AP7's got 5. So lots of penalties. However, it's not like there's a ridiculous amount where someone alone is picking up like 10 seconds, which is good to see. Well, as I say that, that's probably going to be happening at some point. Still side by side between these two, Valentine and Teok for this 5th spot. It looks like Matt Rosie and Will Ans battling for the lead here through 3. And I tell you what, the defensive driving that Will Ans has done so far has been absolutely phenomenal, holding off all 3, both of these drivers actually, and then AP7's also starting to close in behind as well. He's also trying to battle for the spot. And Matt Rosie is finding significant pace on those hard tires. I will say, that is a little bit surprising as the rest of everybody else is on the mediums, but I tell you what, he's made up some amazing pace. Will Ans did not get the best go through 7, and neither did Benz Rice. Benz Rice picked up 3 seconds, so at the moment, Will Ans doesn't really have to try too hard. He's just got to pretty much survive the wet around these other 2 drivers, and I tell you what, he might have the win here. Ooh, lots of drivers picking up 3 seconds. Much as I wouldn't like to see a race decided on penalties, that's could be a very big possibility. And let's see, can Will Ans make the position this time by... Oh, he really tried to keep the slipstream as long as he could, and there he goes into 3, side by side, still for the position. This might just be a 4-car battle for the lead here very shortly. Detail picking up 3 seconds for time penalty. Who is that? That is Domingos, who has gone off on the inside of turn 1 on exits. It's got orange DRS. Whatever that means, it's flashing. Did he not have it? Interesting. Anyways. So, 4 drivers for the lead. All within about... well, I mean, it's probably about a second now. This is AP7 trying to find his way around Matt Rosie. Will Ans took the lead, and he's got no penalties as well, so he's in a very, very good spot. AP7 getting very wide there in 9. Matt Rosie now having to fend off from Teok as they go into 1. Let's see if he can make the overtake, and no, he's going to play it safe for now. Well, probably doesn't need to hold on for too long, as he's going to have the DRS this time by, as well as Matt Rosie. So Will Ans now has, about 5/10 of a second, a lead on Benz Rice. Will Ans is really captivating here, going through Sector 2 in particular. Going through 3, he's not bad. It looks like he's losing, obviously, a little bit of a time through Sector 1, especially with not having the DRS, but then once he goes through 3 and on through Sector 2, he is really steel trapped for that first position. Nice little trail of cars here back to 4th. Teok a little bit further behind. Matt Rosie has dropped to 4th. As we look a little bit further back, Monkey Mafia, is he going to get this position on Niru? Looks like he's going to hold off for now. Oh, maybe went a little bit wide there. Evaded any Stewart action. Going to get the DRS this time by. Niru is surely just a sitting duck at this point. Side by side they go into 1. And Monkey Mafia is going to pick up a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. He's gone too close to the inside of the corner. He is going to get the position on Niru. And that was Monkey Mafia's first penalty of the day as well. Very closely contested here. Ooh, Niru got a little bit of a wiggle going out of 3. Guess who's back? Back again. Benz Rice has taken the lead from Will Ans. Oh, if I missed that. Did Will Ans just get into the back of Benz Rice there a little bit? Very possible that he did. Oh, and Will Ans did not get to go through 7 that he would have wanted. He's going to lose the position to AP7. Maybe a little bit of contact there, as you can see. Oh, and Will Ans has really gotten into AP7 there. Valentine picking up 3 seconds for multiple warnings. Can't tell if Will Ans just braked a little bit too late there. How much wing damage does he possibly have? And Will Ans doesn't look to have any. He's got Matt Rosie and Teok behind him. Speaking of Matt Rosie, he wants the position, and he's going to take it for now. Up into 3 they go, still side by side. Will Ann's going to keep the position. I got to say, Will Ann's defensive driving through turn 3 has been absolutely phenomenal. I am surprised how much pace Matt Rosie is turning out of these hard compound tires. It's absolutely brilliant, is what it is. Big walk-up from Matt Rosie. Battle for the lead now. About 3/4 of a second, hovering around that mark, relatively. Looks like Knuckles and Murph and Sally trading places. Let's go back to them. Looks like Knuckles maybe got a little bit off the pace. Maybe they hit each other going through 4. Good possibility that happens. Possible Bacon, he wants into this mix as well for that spot. Only 3 drivers yet to pick up penalties. That's Niru, Nix, USGT, and then Chief Grades back there in 18th are the only 3 drivers yet to pick up penalties. But this is how it was in the proper Div 2 race in Austria last season. This is Teok watching Matt Rosie, or Will Enns overtake Matt Rosie. Now let's see what Teok can do here. Is he going to try to be gutsy going into 3? He was looking for it. Didn't actually get the line that he may have wanted. Ooh, contact being made there between Matt Rosie and Will Enns, possibly. Matt Rosie losing a couple spots. Now Valentine inheriting the 4th spot. Oh, goodness me, and there goes Matt Rosie round in front of Teok. That's giving Hate's Height the 5th spot there, but Teok and Matt Rosie both losing out on at least 2 spots there. And I think Matt Rosie's just genuinely gone around in the corner, and unfortunately Teok had nowhere to go. Teok's got a missing end plate on the left side. Yeek. Fortunate there. Haytite's been a rather quiet one to say the least, though he's trying to overtake his Haas teammate here, Valentine, for the 4th spot, and yeah, easy does it there. Haytite doing a brilliant job so far. He's made up into 4th. Can we see how many spots? Oh, he started 5th, up into 4th. This battle for the lead still kind of teetering around the half-second mark. Nothing to report there yet, though. Here's Matt Rosie trying to find his way around Hightower, possibly. Not just yet. Oh, and what's happened to Knuckles there? Did he just not get the line out of turn 3? Because he's lost a lot of ground. Matt Rosie's still wanting that Hightower spot as well. It's currently the closest battle in the field, and oh, Matt Rosie picking up 3 more seconds, and that will put him up to, that's 6 now. Niru Nix, one of the final drivers in the field that had yet to pick up a penalty, picks up a penalty. As well as Teok, he also picked up another 3 seconds. You can tell Matt Rosie wants to spot around Hightower. Murphy and Sally picking up 3 seconds. USGT Fishing, still the only person in the field yet to pick up a penalty. Looks like AP7 is the only driver whose penalty can be served in the pits here. Ooh, Hightower got a big wiggle coming out of 3. Lucky he didn't lose it. Murph and Selly trying to find his way around Niru Nix, possibly. What's a close one there? Murph and Silly nearly getting into the back one. Good job to keep it clean through there. Hightower starting to fall back from Teok a little bit. Domingo's picking up 3 seconds for multiple warnings. So that puts him up to 6. AP7 still trying his best to catch up to Benzerice. It looks like this gap is staying relatively even around 7/10 of a second. Possibly going up a little bit more now. Niru Nix and Murph and Selly picking up spots. Someone... Oh, and it looks like Niru's actually gone into the pits. That is what it looks like. Or has he? Yeah, it looks like Niru's gone in. That's for sure. And Impossible Bacon picking up 3 seconds for multiple warnings. Matt Rosie still trying to put the work on Valentine, it looks. Nero Nix and Impossible Bacon closely contested for this spot. 13th as they go down the DRS straight. Side by side into 4. Oh, I hate that camera angle. The burning passion. Valentine picking up 3 seconds. Side by side still between these two. Who's going to get the position here? It looks like Impossible Bacon's going to keep it for now. Ooh, Nero did not get the right line there. They're still holding on as much as he can. Meanwhile, up the field we go. Matt Rosie trying to make the move on Valentine as they go through the DRS section. Matt Rosie did get past Valentine as well. Like Hates trying to get around Will Ans possibly for this 3rd spot. Will Ans has been kind of struggling. Ooh, who do we have there? That is a McLaren of Domingos who appears to have gone through the gravel through 7. And yeah, that's exactly what it was. You can tell there is gravel on his tires. And look at this, the clouds are starting to come in here. No rain just yet as we close in on about 10 to go. Very shortly, Bacon's going to take the long way around Niru for that spot. Yellow flag in Sector 3, who could that be? And Domingos has gone into the pits and retired. Hightower picking up 3 seconds from multiple warnings. Who else is going into the pits now? Or is it still just... I'm not really sure. Anyways. Comes Haytite possibly making the move on Will Ans. Uncle Ben's on hards will have to be first to pit for wets if needed. But certainly the case. I mean, let's actually look and see. Ben's got the mediums. Matt Rose is on the hard. Adaltonian's on the hards. We're getting right though. Some of these medium tires are starting to possibly near the end of their expected tire life. We'll probably be able to make them go on. I tell you what, most of these drivers definitely trying to make them stretch until at least they'll need the wet tires. Might be a little bit close though. I mean, it takes at least a lap or two to get the track fully wet. And speaking of pitting, looks like Hightower he went 15 laps on those soft tires. Both of the Mercedes drivers stretching those soft tires as much as they possibly can. And it looks like he has fit the hards? Do I see that correctly? I can't really tell. No, he's put on more softs. Interesting. Didn't really expect that. Ben's Rice still kind of holding this lead as much as he can. It's still been hovering about 0.7 of a second for the better part of 5 laps now. Behind them, oh, this is Murph and Sully and Adaltonian possibly battling for position. Seahawk 91 picking up 3 seconds from multiple warnings. Mind you, the Mercedes of USGT still has yet to pick up a penalty. Oh, I'm going to go along with him because I think I've just jinxed that, haven't I? Please tell me I haven't jinxed it. No, okay, alright. It's done well for now. Meanwhile, this battle for the 8th spot's still going on nicely. Murphin Selly's done a pretty solid job so far. Oh, he's gotten really wide there on exit 1. It looks like Adaltonian probably going to get the spot this time by, and that is definitely the case. Valentine setting the fastest lap. Very suddenly closely contested back here. 3 abreast between those 3. Valentine Impossible and USGT. It looks like Valentine's got the better of them for now. Wow, it suddenly got very closely contested, I will say. Murphy and Sully, could he want the spot going into 4? The answer is no for now. Mafia starting to feel some pressure from Valentine and Hightower. He's trying to pressure Hightower, excuse me. Meanwhile, for the 3rd spot, it looks like Haytite Gaming still trying to work on Will Ans. Trying to catch the slipstream. He's got the DRS as well. Oh, is he going to get it? This one's going to be close. No, he's going to choose to play it safe for now, maybe hoping that Will Ends has a poor exit to 3, and Will Ends does not have a poor exit to 3 and will hold the spot. As you go through the field, this battle for the lead's still kind of... Oh, it's actually starting to close up now, about half a second between the both of them. It was about 7/10 not too long ago. Both drivers doing everything they can to kind of possibly wear each other down, maybe make a lead change before they have to pit for the wet tires, if they do. Meanwhile, behind them, looks like Hotspot possibly trying to make the move on Will Ends. In a little bit. Not right this second. Murphy wants past Adaltonian shortly. Got a little bit of ground to make up, but nothing too ridiculous. It looks like good friends Impossible Bacon and Valentine battling for position here. AP7 still trying his best to wear down Ben's Rice. Trying everything he can, throwing everything he can at the track, and he's about shaved off 0.2 of a second of gap that he used to have. Go through 4. Oh, we got a yellow flag through 4, through sector 3. Who could that be? Oh, nobody, I guess. Alright. Yeah, just throw the yellow flag for no reason. Oh, that could have been USGT sliding into the pits. It's very possible. Matt Rosie. Ooh, a little bit of slip and slide there. Hotspot picking up 3 seconds. Look and see who's yet to pit. So the majority of the field, top 10 at least, still yet to pit. Oh, and can Matt Rosie possibly make the move around Hotspot this time by? I don't think he's going to get it this time, though he's right there for the next DRS section. Mind you, Will Ends is still there as well. Yet to see the rain come in. Here comes Matt Rosie around the left-hand side. Oh, and Matt Rosie nearly getting into the back of Will Ends there as they go into 3. AP7 has a lot more ERS than Uncle. Could possibly see him push for it very shortly. And I tell you what, ooh, and speaking of the rain, that is now into play. As you can see, starting to drizzle here. Now that the rain is starting to show up, as you said, Sweet, AP7 does have a lot of ERS stored up. However, I'm wondering if that's going to be the best spot, as, you know, if you're not on the wet tires and you do choose to use the ERS, it's very easy to spin. So, you know what? Let's see how that plays out. Starting to lose a little bit of ground here to Ben's Rice, actually. No takers for the pit lane as of yet. Again, it's going to take at least 2 laps to get the wet conditions for the track or thereabouts. Kind of wish it came maybe 5 laps sooner, but what are you going to do? Matt Rosie still trying to push for Will Ends here as they go through turn 1. DRS surely going to be disabled next lap. Side by side going into 3. Matt Rosie finally taking the outside. That is the preferred line that Will Ends wants, and Will Ends yet again doing a brilliant job defensive driving. Out of turn 3, we get a yellow flag in sector 1. That is the Williams of Chief Braids, who is off to the side of the circuit, I believe just letting most of the field go by. And yeah, I'm going to assume that is the case, though he is way in the inside of the field. AP7, can we see him possibly make the move on Ben's Rice? DRS surely disabled this next time by. Doesn't appear to be yet. Closing in on the final few laps of this race. Who was that coming into the pits? That is the Haas of Hotspot choosing to come in for the intermediates, I'm guessing. Interesting to see, as who is this here? Matt Rosie and Hotspot still battling for that spot. Wow, this is fairly closely contested for this 3rd position. Side by side they go up into 3 yet again. I'm really hoping, oh, maybe a little bit of contact there. Oh yeah, lots of contact there between the 2 drivers. Oh, and you can see Matt Rosie starting to spin the tires on exit of 3. I'm not sure how many people are going to be choosing to take these wet tires. That is the thing. There's not a lot of time left a stop right now could be detrimental. However, it's one of those things where as the track gets more wet, the dry tires are going to really become irrelevant, and they're going to fall off a lot faster. So that is going to be something to look out for. Most importantly, I'm looking at those top 2 drivers who are very closely contested. Got about a 7. Ooh, Will Ann's nearly losing it through 7. But anyways, looking at those top 4 drivers, top 2 in particular, Benz Rice and AP7 both have about a 6-second gap on Matt Rosie. Will Ann's picking up 3 seconds for multiple warnings. Those hards are going to be icy, and yeah, that's exactly what I'm thinking. Though I'm not sure either Benz Rice or AP7 is going to want to pit right now. Only 2 to go as they go into who's this? That is Impossible Bacon, who's gone around through the gravel. Unfortunate to say. Looks like Hightower has also picked up a penalty as well. So this battle to the lead, what's it going to come down to? Is it going to come down to an overtake, or is it going to come down to possibly AP7 braking just a bit late, but maybe getting held up in the water and maybe getting into Ben's Rice? Would that be something? I'm going to be honest with you, that doesn't seem to be out of the question as well. And speaking of closely contested battles, this in the midfield, Monkey Mafia has had a very busy day as he finds his way up into 9th. Battle for the lead within a 1/10 of a second. Neither of them boxing. Oh, and AP7 getting really wide there. Oh, well, that's a buzzkill, isn't it? AP7's got 8 seconds of penalties. Ben's Rice only got 3. Well, that's a little depressing, because honestly, I thought these 2 were on even penalties, but I guess not. Seahawks just picked up 3 seconds. He's up to 15. AP7 does want this position, though, either way. Around the outside, possibly? Doesn't look to be the case. Oh, we got a big bit of tire spin out of that. Meanwhile, a bit further through the grid, it looks like Hightower's kind of in a tough spot here. He's got Monkey Mafia to his left side. Oh, Monkey's gone a little bit wide. He's in the grass. Monkey's done a great job of keeping it off the wall. However, he did spin it a little bit coming out of 1. And he is in the grass and losing 2 positions there. However, closely contested amongst these 3. If we're looking on who is on the tire, only 1 driver on the wet tire, and that is USGT Fishing back there in 16th. Hightower and Adaltonian for the 7th spot. Looks like Hightower's going to get it for now. Do want to pay attention to this battle for the lead. Ben's Rice has it for now. Ooh, Ben's Rice going really wide there, somehow not picking up the steward's attention. Final lap of the race. DRS is now disabled, so basically any passes to be made. Oh, who's that? That looks like a racing point that's gone off. That's Impossible Bacon. Oof. Tough luck for him there. Valentine and Adaltonian battling for position. Looks like Valentine maybe got into him just a little bit. That looks like Chief Braids who's gone off there. This battle for the lead still within a second as they head down the DRS straight, without DRS, of course. This little grouping of 3... Oh, and AP7, wow, he really had to do everything he could to hold on to that car, that is for sure. Valentine and Adaltonian battling for position here. This grouping of about 4 drivers, I mean, it's really going to be Monkey Mafia and Adaltonian. They get the best of it. Oh, and speaking of Adaltonian, he's going around nearly. What a save that was, I will say. Brilliant save from Adaltonian. Oh, and is that Murphinselli that's gone off? No, that's his teammate, Will Ann's, who spun it in the middle there of on exit of turn 4. Oh boy, this is going to be tough. He has got to get off that circuit. Right now he's got drivers coming through, but meanwhile, Uncle Ben's Rice. Dramatic finish to the day with only 3 seconds of penalties. Uncle Ben's Rice going to be taking the win here in Austria. Very, very good race for him. Very closely contested the entire time. Matt Rosie looks to be picking up 3rd, though you never know with the penalties. Yeah, let's go back to Hightower here. He's got Monkey Mafia ahead of him. Ooh, I'm not sure how these penalties are going to come into play. Looks like the top 4 is already settled. Will Ann's next to come to the line. Teok in 6th, Valentine 7th. Nope, Monkey Mafia is going to jump up to 7th. Valentine's going to drop down to 9th, 10th. Wow. So lots of position shuffling around here in the midfield after that. But to the top three, Ben's Rice, AP7, Matt Rosie, your top three for this race. And I'm going to be honest, if that is what's to come for this race, it's going to be really exciting. So while you all are still here, let's make sure you all get this in your heads right now. Tomorrow night, regular time, I believe 9:30. I'm going to be joining, I believe, is it Jacko or is it going to be Stat in the booth? I'm not really sure. We haven't clarified that yet. I'm pretty sure it's going to be Jacko. Me, Jacko, Crash, and Fallen Monkeys from Div 3 all going to be commentating on the special race that our league has going on tomorrow, where we take the top drivers from each division and put them in realistic cars. So that's going to be featuring some very interesting stuff there. It should be actually a very even race. I'm excited to see how that plays out. Very fun stuff going down on the league's Twitch tomorrow night. Be sure to tune in for that, because that is going to be one hell of a race. And so Uncle Ben's Rice taking the top spot on the podium. Very solid race for all of these drivers in the top five. And who's just throwing what in the chat? Wee, says Monkey Mafia. Monkey, you picked up quite a couple positions there on penalties. You had a very busy day as well, I will say. As we go through our final order, Ben's Rice taking the win, AP7 in second, Matt Rosie third, Hey Titan fourth, Will Ants fifth, Teok in sixth, Monkey Mafia seventh, 8 Altonian eighth, 9th is Nero Nix, 10th is Valentine, 11th is Murphy, Murphin's Helly, 12th is Hightower, 13th Knuckles, 14th Possible Bacon, 15th Detail, 16th is USGT, 17th is Chief Braids, 18th is Domingos, and then rounding up the field in 19th is ZGS. And that is going to do it for us. Again, be sure to tune in to the League Twitch tomorrow night at 9:30 for our special full distance race at Bahrain Short with the realistic cars from all the best drivers from the 4 main divisions. So thank you all for joining. It's been an absolute pleasure. Hopefully we get to do this more. And who's just put what in the chat? That is someone. Hasn't popped up yet. Well, hasn't popped up yet. So thank you for joining us, everyone, and we will see you next time.